So there are many reasons why relationships fall apart. Obviously, people outgrowing each other, toxic ways of fighting, infidelity, all of that, right? But here's something that happens that we don't really think about or talk about because it's subtle and we're not aware of it. But I think this is the number one reason, because it's always happening, and it's like death by 1,000 paper cuts. If you're not aware of what's happening under your relationship, then this is going to be a crowbar. This is going to be what creates infidelity and drift and looking over the fence and lying and cheating and all of that stuff. And this is it. The number one reason why relationships fall apart is because we start doing life around or at each other instead of with. So let me explain. Doing life at someone is controlling, is getting someone to absorb your truth or your way of thinking. Loving loving loaded. And I don't mean loaded like you're high. That's not good either. But loving with not openness, but grabbing, right? Trying to control, trying to convince, coming in loaded, right? The other thing we do is we love around, and we love around people, or we do life around people because we are walking on eggshells, because we are afraid of confrontation, because we don't want to rock the boat. And all of that, of course, stems, is tied back to the way we were raised and wiring in our story and all the shit we've been through. If you were raised in an environment where you were not allowed or encouraged to tell people how you feel, then as an adult, it's going to be really difficult for you to express your feelings and your needs and wants, right? It's going to be hard for you to draw boundaries. It's going to be easy for you to lose yourself or to give too much, and then you later have anger and resentment, right? So doing life around someone means not expressing yourself. It means holding things in. It means being afraid to say how you really feel, right? A lot of people who are in relationships that are lopsided or toxic end up doing life around their partner because they don't want to deal with the elephant in the room. They're afraid, maybe they're afraid to be alone, or that their partner is going to leave. So they just kind of like take it, right? And they cope by doing life around. So doing life around and doing life at, that happens most of the time. What rarely happens, but I think needs to, and this is the number one problem in relationships, is that we don't do life with our partner. So what does that look like? That means vulnerability. That means showing yourself. That means if you're going through a dark time, to do that with your partner without wanting your partner to fix it or taking them down with you, right? It means sharing your day. It means sharing how you feel. It means expressing your truth, your wants, your needs, what you believe you deserve, like all that shit, right? It could also mean, communicating your needs in the bedroom. It could mean doing activities with your partner. It could mean spending more quality time. Whatever it looks like for you to do life with your partner instead of at and around. Most people do life at or around their partner. And it can be very subtle where it's not that big of a deal because we fall into routines and we don't really notice. And there are other moments in our relationship where we are very present, and so we don't notice it that much. But years and years of doing life at your partner or around your partner is going to create drift and different unhealthy ways of coping and everything that eventually takes out the legs of a relationship, and suddenly you wake up and realize what went wrong.